My name is Zara, and not too long ago I felt like I was stuck in a movie where I wasn't the main character. Life in my bustling Karachi neighborhood felt like a script someone else had written for me. Wake up, help my army with chores, study for exams I didn't care about, and listen to my aunties gossip about who was getting married next. It was all so predictable. I craved something more, a little bit of control, a secret weapon that would make me feel powerful in a world where I felt anything but. It was during one of those long, boring afternoons scrolling endlessly online that I first stumbled upon it. Not on some shady website, but in hushed whispers in online forums and comment sections. The words were black magic. The idea started as a tiny spark of curiosity. I mean, who wouldn't be interested? It sounded like something straight out of a fantasy novel, but people were talking about it like it was real. They spoke of spells to make someone fall in love with you, curses to get back at your enemies, and rituals to gain wealth and success. For a girl who felt like her biggest decision of the day was what to make for dinner, this was intoxicating. It wasn't about hurting anyone, not really. It was about the possibility of bending my reality just a little to fit the dreams I had for myself. It felt like a shortcut, a cheat code to the game of life that everyone else seemed to be playing by the rules. In my culture, black magic is the monster under the bed that everyone believes in but no one talks about openly. We hear stories from our grandparents about jealous relatives placing curses, or who could solve any problem with a special prayer or a mysterious amulet. It's this weird mix of fear and faith. You're supposed to stay away from it, to seek protection from it through prayer, yet its presence is everywhere. A sudden illness? Someone might whisper it's black magic. A business failing? Definitely a rival's curse. This deep-rooted belief made it all the more thrilling. I wasn't just exploring a hobby. I was tapping into a forbidden, ancient power that my own people acknowledged and feared. My initial research was clumsy, a mix of folklore blogs and translated texts. I learned about talismans, incantations, and the importance of things like personal belongings, a strand of hair, a piece of clothing, to create a connection to a person. The more I read, the more I felt like I was unlocking a secret level of existence. It was my own little rebellion, a quiet act of defiance against the mundane path laid out for me. I told myself it was just for fun, just to see if it worked. I wanted to try something small, something harmless. Maybe a little spell to ace my next exam, or to make the cute guy from the market finally notice me. What could be the harm in that? My first attempt was laughably simple. I found a ritual online that promised to improve focus and memory for my upcoming history exam. It involved lighting a specific type of incense, writing my desires on a bay leaf, and then burning it while chanting a few lines I barely understood. It felt silly, like I was playing a game. But as the fragrant smoke curled up towards the ceiling of my bedroom, a strange sense of calm washed over me. It felt like I was actually something to control my fate, instead of just hoping for the best. And what do you know? I passed the exam with a better grade than I expected. Was it the magic, or did I just study harder because I believed I had an edge? I didn't care, it worked. That small success was all the encouragement I needed. I started spending more and more time in my room, which I began to see as my secret sanctuary. My internet history became a rabbit hole of obscure forums and digital grimoires. I learned about the different kinds of and their supposed powers, the significance of lunar cycles, and the specific herbs and spices needed for certain spells. It was like learning a new language, one that promised to unlock the universe's secrets. I bought strange-smelling oils and oddly shaped candles from a dusty old shop in the old city, telling my mother they were for a school project. The secrecy was part of the thrill, a little world that belonged only to me. The deeper I went, the more I realized this wasn't just about bay leaves and incense. The rituals became more complex, more demanding. Some required ingredients that made me uncomfortable, like personal items from others or performing chants at unsettling hours of the night. The casual fun started to feel a bit heavier. I tried a spell to make my perpetually critical aunt a little nicer to my mother. The instructions were vague and unsettling, involving a photograph and some graveyard dirt. I didn't go through with it. A line had appeared and I wasn't sure if I was ready to cross it. The magic I wanted was supposed to be empowering, not creepy and dark. This new hobby began to consume me. Instead of hanging out with my friends after college, I would rush home to read about a new ritual. I became quieter at the dinner table, lost in thought about symbols and incantations. My friends noticed I was distant. "Zara, you're always tired or busy," my best friend Fatima told me one day. "Is everything okay?" I'd just smile and say I was stressed about studies, but the lie felt thin. I was living a double life. One part of me was the regular Pakistani daughter and student, and the other was an aspiring sorceress, dabbling in forces that my friends and family would find terrifying. I was walking a tightrope, and I was starting to feel the wobble. The changes in my behavior didn't go unnoticed for long. My mother, with her eagle eyes, was the first to sense something was off. She found a small, strange-smelling pouch of herbs hidden in my drawer, and her face went pale. "What is this, Zara?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. She wasn't angry, she was scared. In her mind, these weren't just herbs, they were a gateway to something sinister. The conversation that followed was tense. I tried to pass it off as a homemade potpourri, but she saw right through it. The trust between us, once so easy and open, was now strained. She started leaving religious texts on my pillow and sprinkling holy water in the corners of my room, her silent way of fighting a battle she didn't understand. My relationships outside the home began to fray as well. Fatima tried to pull me back into our old life of window shopping and sharing secrets over cups of chai. But my mind was elsewhere. I had become withdrawn and secretive, and my obsession with my new hobby created a wall between us. One afternoon she confronted me directly. "People are talking, Zara," she said, her voice low. "They say you're getting into weird things." The word Jadu hung in the air between us, unspoken but deafening. The hurt and confusion in her eyes were a punch to the gut. I was losing my best friend, not to a